Bill Maher is once again going after what he sees as flawed woke arguments, and this time, his target is Whoopi Goldberg. Let's be honest, many feel she's been inviting criticism with a growing list of controversial takes over the past few years. Maher didn't just disagree. He broke her arguments down piece by piece in a sharp and direct takedown. So what did Goldberg say this time, and why did it spark such a strong reaction? Let's get into it.
Not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job.
Goldberg has clearly stepped back into the spotlight. After earlier criticism involving Sunny Hostin, it seems the hosts of The View weren't ready to stay quiet. This time, Goldberg took the lead, appearing ready to defend her side and push back hard. The exchange quickly turned heated, grabbing even more attention.
5-year period, every single movie that Kevin Hart did was a movie that had been on my desk, that all I had said was, just, can we take some of this step and fetch it out? And then I can do it. Like, it don't need to be overtly homosexual, because I'm not homosexual, right? It doesn't need that to be funny, right? And me saying that and them going, oh yeah, no problem. And then going to give it to this other guy and having him do it just like it was, and acting like I'm a bad person because I keep standing on my standard. But yeah, it's interesting, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Like, again, I'm on the winning side of these decisions.
Will there ever be another Comic View, Def Comedy Jam? Could that, in today, in 24, 25, 26, could we see that again?
They've already announced it. It's already going. You didn't know? Yeah, Kevin Hart purchased it, so he's now doing Comic View. That happened at the same time that they gave DC Young Fly Hollywood Squares.
Where?
Yeah, because they tell you that there's no gatekeepers, but we keep seeing the same people open the gate. Didn't Kevin open the gate and let Tiffany in? And he now opening it up for, don't such and such open the gate? What do you mean ain't no gatekeepers? There's 100 gates out here.
Critics argue that Goldberg's response didn't really address Maher's original point. Maher was talking about jobs, the economy, and policing, issues many
There's
consider.
100 gates out here.
But Goldberg shifted toward broader political arguments, which some felt didn't fully connect.
I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what? Just, you've been offered, yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
That was my way of cueing you. Like, it's open dialogue.
Yeah, you want me to keep talking about it?
By all means, we can talk about anything, but
don't do it.
Yeah,
Maher didn't hold back. He suggested that the reasoning on The View often lacks clarity, something he's criticized before. The show is known for intense debates, but moments like this tend to amplify its reputation. Even guests like Charlemagne the God have seemed surprised by how discussions unfold.
Pope is not Turkson. The new Pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee, Kavenzhane Wallace.
Wow. Wow. I don't think anyone saw this one coming.
The conversation also touched on controversy surrounding Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden. Critics questioned how public statements about accountability align with real-world decisions, while supporters pointed to the complexity of legal and political situations.
It's possible that there isn't anything funnier than a guy in a dress. And if that's the case, then it might also be said that there's nothing funnier than a black guy in a dress. Okay, well, I watched all of my friends throughout my entire life be able to dunk a basketball, but not me. So everybody can't do everything. So, you know, some of us make choices. I think it's not a biggest choice for others. I'm saying at the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are gonna say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress wearing people before him. So now we had Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next.
Okay.
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. End quote.
I mean, we all love Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. Dave Chappelle has never been a part of the Illuminati. They don't want him or me or people like us.
Yeah.
But now it's not necessary for us to stir up that hornet's nest unless we intend to get stung 1,000,000 times. I didn't understand that. They had to sting me 1,000,000 times. I'm still not going to join, but I respect it a little more.
Goldberg defended President Biden, suggesting that circumstances can change and decisions may evolve. However, critics argued that this doesn't fully address earlier claims about accountability.
Go deeper, I will say that it's none of my business, the personal relationships and all the stuff that was talked about. So I'm not going to talk about that. But I will talk about what I've experienced. And what I've experienced is sitting in front of Katt Williams at his own house, $3 million mansion in Malibu. And this man told Tory Hart exactly what Kevin Hart did in order to be where he's at. Now, I don't know if it was Kevin that pissed him off. I don't know who it was that pissed him off. But I do understand that the comedy world is nothing to play with. And since, Richard Pryor left us, God rest his soul, it's more like, everybody's trying to be Richard Pryor. And I can't put myself in position to not understand why some people just don't have the kind of respect for Katt that they should have. I will also say that a lot of people know that he knows that he's helped them in a major way. Huge ways. Silently. For no recognition or none of that. It's just being, who he is as a person. And when I sat in front of him with Tory Hart that night, when Reno Rankin was still alive, it was more like, Kevin been pissing off a lot of people, comedically, you know what I'm saying? And I think that instead of trying to bash somebody that knows what they're talking about and bash somebody that has respect in the comedy world, I think that they need to look deeper into why is he letting...
The discussion became more intense when Goldberg suggested that changing situations could justify different actions. Observers noted that Charlemagne appeared surprised, highlighting how divided opinions are on the issue.
No, and don't just think. That's my question to you. Who pissed him off? Who do you think pissed him off?
Well, it would seem as if a lot of people pissed him off.
No, it was only one person, and they have a clan of people behind him. Yeah. It was Kevin. So, at the end of the day, I'm just going to keep it real with you, and it's like, Kevin doesn't want to be a dinosaur. He's really a velociraptor. And some people are actually T-Rexes. And we have a system to break in this universe. Now, if I keep going with this posting that everyone's privy to, it's going to unlock certain systems in the universe that prove that dinosaurs are actually not extinct. That's what Katt knows. He knows the inner workings of how people turned into huge comedians. And I guess,
he says Kevin is an industry plant.
No, man. I mean, Kevin is a dinosaur, and I can't, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. He's Frankie Lyman, and ooh, ooh.
This moment reflects a broader debate. Some argue that people call out wrongdoing more aggressively when it involves opponents, but show more leniency when it's someone they support. Others say these situations are more nuanced than they appear.
He turned down $50 million 4 times.
No, he didn't.
To protect his integrity and his virgin hole.
No, he didn't. He did that. He did that to say that Kevin Hart took $50 million to unvirgin his.
Can you explain a little bit?
No, I just told you what happened with that.
So you don't believe Katt when he says that he turned down $50 million 4 times?
No, I believe that was a punch at what he did, what Kevin Hart did for that movie Get Hard. He showed y'all what he did. He Will Ferrell's to get hard. Now he's high. Now he's acting all hard.